Okay, morning everybody. So this is going to be a magic circle class, which you can do without a magic circle. You'll just have to sort of improvise a bit occasionally. A few things before we start is when you're holding the circle in your hands, you want to have a long straight fingers and hold it like that on the pad. Okay, so no, you don't wrap your fingers or wrap your thumb. You'll hold it with a straight wrist so that you can get a nice straight wrist and elbow, and that will help you feel the work in the shoulders. When we are using our arms, you're trying to feel a bit more sensation in the muscles around the back of the shoulder blade leading into your back, and you're trying to keep the shoulders rolled back as opposed to letting them roll forward, which tends to be how our kind of pattern can become a bit like that. So it's a little more like that, okay? A couple of things just before we start is if you come to an exercise that doesn't feel good, just leave it out. This is a mixed level class, so I am going to do some harder exercises which are completely optional, and you can do some of the things without the ring as well. So if you've had enough of it, just don't use it. You can do the same exercises without. And then the last thing is just really less is more with if you are using a magic circle. Let me just mute people actually. You want to just not hug it so strongly that you just feel tension in your neck and hips. That would be too much. So gentle, just enough to help you feel a bit more connected into your middle. Okay, so we're going to start. If you hold it out in front of you, a little lower than shoulders, long straight fingers, stand up and roll your shoulders really lightly back. And you're just going to gently press into the ring as if you're hugging it, and then gently release. And try and search for the feeling of the muscles around the back of the shoulder and the upper back. If you press a little bit more with the little finger side or pinky side of your hand, that will help you feel a little more back arm into back, that connection. So that's what we're after when we have the ring in our hands. And you want to feel as if your collarbone is wide and you're not allowing your shoulders to sort of roll forward like that, but we're really like roll back, so we feel our back more. Okay, now just relax for a second. I'm going to come to stand back, and if you have somewhere in your room you can stand, we're going to stand in little Pilates V shape today. So have your heels together, your toes a little bit apart, and stand up really tall. Just hold your ring in your hand for a moment and press the heels together really strongly. And try and imagine you're pressing the back of your inner thighs together really enthusiastically as well. And then gently lifting up through your center, all the way up to the top of your head. Try and imagine you're standing up really nice and tall, the sort of longest lifted posture you can create. Okay, and then we're going to take our ring in front of us, elbows a little bit bent, pointing out to the side with our long straight fingers. Roll your shoulders lightly back. And all you're going to do is breathe out softly and hug your ring. Hold, and then release. Nice and simple. Breathe out, hug and hold, and release. Keep a gentle rolling back of your shoulders as you hug. So you feel more open across your chest, and you feel a little more of your upper back and back shoulder muscles. One more time, hug, and release. Now float the circle up to in front of you, and same thing, you're going to hug and release. Keep that feeling of the back shoulder, upper back, really tall lifted neck. Keep hugging your heels, drawing the inner thighs together, and down. Now, a slightly more advanced version of this, if you feel really confident with that, is to keep hugging your heels, but just lift up into a small little sort of heel raise. Really press the heels together and press the inner thighs together. Okay, now you're going to hug and move the circle down towards your legs as a little balance and hold. And then hug, release, and work your circle back up. Keep trying to balance, hold your posture. Tight, tight heel hug. Up. And now if you feel good, go a little higher. You're just pulsing the ring, holding your balance. We're going to go down again. Feel your back, hug your heels, all the way down. We can do it one more time. If it's too strong or hard to balance, just do this with your heels down. It's a little harder, it's more advanced version, all the way up. And then little pulses all the way down. Good, and then lower your heels, and we're going to put the ring on the side of our hip like so, okay? So if I come a little closer, it's not on my waist, it's on my hip where it's a bit firmer, and the ring is a little bit in front of me, so it's not right at my side, it's slightly forward, okay? And then I'm just going to pull in, and release out, okay? So you're standing in your little V shape, and you're pulling in, growing tall, and out. So 2 more times, pull in, grow tall, and out. Pull in, grow tall, and out. We're going to switch sides. So this is trying to keep our spine upright, keep our posture while we give the ring a little hug. So shoulders back, standing tall, heels together, and we're going to hug, hold, and release. And again, hug it into you, hold, and release. Keep trying to stand tall with a lovely long neck, really like balloon on the head, really lifted spine, and release. And one more time, give a nice strong hug, and release. Good. Now we're going to take the circle behind us, and you're going to hold it with straight fingertips behind you, long straight hands. Okay, now it's very hard to squeeze it in this position, so it's unlikely it's going to move much. But if you roll your shoulders back and reach the arms down the back of your body, when you give the ring a hug, try and open your collarbones more and release. So you'll feel the back of your arm and your upper back muscles a little bit. The ring might not move, but you'll feel the muscles. And try and open your collarbones, have a long lifted neck. And now we're going to keep a little hug, and we're going to move the circle out and in, and you'll feel a little bit of a stretch in the front of the shoulder. It's not super powerful, but it's enough to get your shoulders moving well. Last one. Hold it out from you and just do a couple of little squeezes out from you. Finding that back arm, nice open chest, standing really tall. And then relax. Okay, give everything a little shake. We're going to move now onto our mat. So I'm going to move my camera. If you need to move your angle, feel free. So we're going to sit down on our mats, and we're going to have our legs through the center of the ring to start with. Okay, so when you're sat on your bottom, come to the front ends of your mat and step your 2 feet in the hoop, in the hole. If you don't have a ring, you can just do this without a ring, just same exercise, okay? Those of us that have got a ring, you're pressing out and feeling, when you push out, you'll feel a little more side hip, which is going to help us strengthen that side hip area, okay? So reach the arms out, round your spine, think C curve, tuck the tail, push out on the ring a little bit. And then we're going to round back. Think of curling your tail under, rounding back halfway, and then breathing out and sitting up. And again, rounding halfway back, and breathe out and sit up. Keep a gentle press out on the ring. Now, if you feel confident, you can go a bit further. Maybe go down to almost lying on the mat, and then sit back up. Okay, one more time to your degree, maybe halfway or maybe further. And then breathe and sit up. Now we're going to go all the way down to lying on our back. If you're happy with your arms out straight, keep them there. If you know you're confident with rollbacks. If you find it a bit tricky, go ahead, hold your legs to support yourself more and take your time, go down, keep a little press out on the ring until you're lying on your back. Once you're lying on your back, you're going to just bring your feet closer to you and have the soles of your feet flat on the floor. And again, just press out on the ring for a few moments and relax. And you'll feel that side hip area. Try and feel it on both legs, right and left side. Check that you're not working harder on one side. Now we're going to do some pelvic curls with a bit of a press out on the ring. So when you're ready, you're going to breathe out, draw the abdominals in deep, tilt the pelvis, and as you roll up, keep a gentle press out on your ring. Hold at the top, breathing in. And breathe out, roll down the spine, trying to grow taller. Gently pressing out on the ring. Relax the tail down. And again, breathing out, draw the abdominals in as you tilt, roll up. Now at the top, hold it for a moment. Just check the both of your feet, the soles of the feet are pressing down, big toe joint side as well as little toe. Soften the front ribs a little bit and try and work your tucking your pelvis more. So you're trying to do the tuck. And the more you do that, the more you'll feel your glutes kicking into action. So you're really trying to lift your pubic bone up higher than your hip points. Now hold it there, and you're just going to push out and in 4 times with your thighs. Working the side hip a little bit. And then we're going to roll down, vertebra by vertebra, getting tall, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, till your tail's down. Okay, now we're going to take the ring out from the position and we're going to move it to inside our legs. So this time the pads of the ring are just going to be a few inches below your knee on that upper thigh. Okay, now you don't have to squeeze it crazy hard in this position because otherwise you'll feel your hips really aren't happy. So just let the ring relax for a second. Relax your arms. Lie down and feel really tall. Now, very gently, you're just going to squeeze the circle as you breathe out. And imagine you're drawing your tummy muscles in a little more deeply. And then release. So it's a breath out as you gently hug and find those deep tummy muscles. Like your belly is going to feel flatter and feel more tone in your low tummy. And release. And you don't have to go crazy hard with the ring squeeze. Just try and feel those muscles more. Breathing out. And release. Now we're going to take our hands behind our head and do exactly that, but with an abdominal curl up. So interlaced fingers, elbows a little bit lifted. As you breathe out, you're going to gently squeeze the ring, feel those deepening tummy muscles, and curl your chest up. Hold for a moment. And then lengthen back down. This should be a very strong abdominal exercise. So as you breathe out, deepening the tummy, curl up. You should basically just be feeling the front of your body a lot, working pretty hard there. And then down. One more time. Breathe out. Now this time, reach the arms long, grab your legs like we sometimes do. See if you can curl a little taller. You'll feel even more work on your tummy. Let go, hold, and we're going to do a bit of the 100 here. So you're going to breathe in. And as you breathe out, gently squeeze the circle and deepen your tummy a tiny bit more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now, if you're new to Pilates, just do a few and then put your head down because this is a strong exercise. If you're feeling fit and you're feeling really good, try just going a few more times and get that strong tummy muscles drawing in and up as you breathe out. One more time, breathe in and breathe out. Good, now we're going to lower our head, grab the ring out and let your core hips kind of, just let them roll around a little bit and just release a little tension. And now we're going to use the circle to stretch our hips. So if you hold the pad of one ring, and then you're going to hook your foot up and try and get the balls of your toes on the pad so you have something not quite good to push against. Okay, and then just to start with, you're going to bend your leg into a little hip stretch. Now, try and keep your tail down on the mat when you do this, so you're not tucking, your bum is down, your tailbone's down, you just straighten as far as your hamstring length will allow. And then if you keep the leg up, you can do a little point flex as well. So push the ring and pull your toes back. Push the circle pad up, pull your toes back. Just a really good calf stretch. Press with all 5 toe joints. One more time. Now we're going to keep the ring in the opposite hand. Put the other arm down and then slide your spare leg out the way. And we're going to go into the side hip stretch. Okay, so keeping the pelvis steady, you're going to move your ring across you and you'll feel the side of your hip getting quite a good stretch there. Okay, hold that for a few moments and then return up. Okay, now you're going to switch hands again. So you're holding the circle with the same hand as leg. Kick into the circle, lift your head up, and now you're going to see if the circle's going to help you do a roll up. So push forward, breathe out, keep pushing forward, and see if you can roll up to sitting. Okay, we're going to try and go down and up using the ring as a help. So you're going to round your spine, keep pushing a little forward in the ring, see if you can slowly round back, feel your lower back, feel each part of your back, waist, ribs, shoulders, head. You can do it one more time. Push forward, lift your head, breathe out, and try and roll up slowly through your back. Now we're going to switch to the other foot, so hook the other foot in, and we're going to do one roll back down onto our back. So rounding the spine. The ring should be supporting you, so it should help you go a bit slower and feel a little more control as you roll down your back. Now, once we're on our back, we're going to do the flex point stretches again. So knee bend, sorry, to start with. So bend and straighten your knee, just stretch out this leg for a little bit. And then we're going to do the point flex, so you can point your foot, pull the ankle back, push with all 5 toes, pull back, push with all 5 toes, pull back. Now we're going to keep the opposite hand holding the ring, other arm to the side, slide the spare leg out, side hip stretch. So I'm pulling my ring across until I feel the side of my hip is feeling a stretch. And then I'm going to return the ring, switch hands again, and as I roll up, I'm going to kick into the ring, lift my head, breathe out, and roll up through my spine. Okay, now I'm going to do it again. Now, if you find roll-ups hard, go ahead and use your spare hand as well, so that when you're rounding back, you can use this arm to help support you. And so you're using your tummy, you're rounding your back, and you're lowering with control. And then we're going to do one last one to kick up, breathing out. Okay, now we're going to move on to some regular roll-ups. If you find roll-ups a challenge, you can either do a few more hold with the ring around the foot, or return to the half roll back with the ring either inside or outside the leg. If you're quite strong at roll-ups, or you're almost achieving your roll-up, this is a nice version where you put your ring flat on your mat. Okay, and then where the handlebar is, you're going to hook your ankles in. And we're going to roll up and we're going to squeeze the circle as we do our roll up. So you don't have to squeeze it yet. You're just going to squeeze it when you want more support. Okay, so round your spine, drawing in the abdominals. We're going to round backwards. And as you start to get to the bit that starts to become a little more challenging, now we squeeze the ring. It's going to give us more hip stability. Curl the pelvis, pubic bone up, lower back down. And roll down the spine. Now, same thing as we come up, we just need to squeeze it on the part of the movement that's the challenging bit. So I'm going to curl up, look at my toes, and then I'm going to breathe out and hug the ring and roll myself up. Keep practicing it. Now, as you get better at roll-ups, you're trying not to let your leg bones move. Thighs are stable. So we're watching trying not to let our legs fly up in the air. Squeeze the circle, that will help stop your legs flying up in the air. And try and really roll through that lower back. It should actually help you in this exercise quite a bit. Breathe out and round up. You do it one more time. So if you're almost there with your roll up, this should actually just do the trick, the magic of the circle to help you find your roll up. And then last one, curl up, breathe out, squeeze and round up. Okay, and then we're going to shift our hips forward and we're going to do 2 versions of our rolling like a ball. The first version, we're going to hold the ring like this, the top end or the side, and then we're going to step our 2 feet on the little other pad. Okay, so I'm going to sort of slightly be pushing forward with my feet. Just take a moment to relax your shoulders. And then think of you're trying to tuck your pelvis. You're in tilted position of your pelvis. and you're trying to draw your tummy in and give your back a really kind of rounded shape. And then when we roll, you're trying to curl your tail to your heels until you roll back, and then push the legs to rock up. Now, the pushing the feet forward should actually help you on the roll up. So again, the ring should help you push into the ring and rock up. One more time. Now, if you usually find rolling up the ball hard, that's a great one to just stay with that. This next one is more advanced and it's stronger and a bit trickier. So be warned, if you want to try this, you put the ring in the ankles, you hold it like that in between your feet, hands on the shin, and then you're trying to squeeze the circle so that your ankles are a tiny bit narrower than your knees. You should immediately be feeling your hips and your tummy more. And then keep the shape, curl the tail to the ring, and then squeeze the ring and rock back up, trying to keep the shape. And again, roll back, keep the shape, rock up, keep the shape. This is harder, makes you work quite hard if the ring is in your ankles. Last one. Good, and then put the feet down. Okay, we're going to move on to having the ring in our hands. So we're going to have long fingers again, remember, and we're going to roll onto our back. So if you want to lie down using your hands for support, go ahead. Otherwise, we're going to roll back. If you're happy doing roll backs, straight arms, round the spine. The higher you hold your circle, the more challenging it's going to be. So you decide low ring or higher ring, and take your time, roll back onto your back. Now, once you're lying on your back, the circle's up to the ceiling and you're looking through it like a little steering wheel. Okay, just feel tall in your back. Feel, where does your body touch the mat? Where is your spine? Where is your back resting on the floor? Where is your neck and head? Can you be nice and relaxed in your neck? Now, we're just going to move only our arms over our head and back up again. And as you do that, try not to let your ribs change. Watch, the ribs are going to want to shift forward. And what you'll notice is a little bit of your upper abdominal muscles, if you're really paying attention to it. When the ring goes over your head, your upper abdominals are helping hold the rib cage steady. It's a little bit about ab strengthener, just holding like that. Now, if any of these exercises get too much, you can just return to that one, very simple. Okay, if you're happy to keep progressing, we're going to bring our legs to tabletop. We're going to flex our feet as if the soles of our feet are on a door and you're holding steady. Draw the tummy in, feel the back ribs are on the mat. And now we're going to move our ring without moving anything else. Over the head and back up. Watch that there's no change in your spine and you're just moving purely the ring. And then hold the ring to the ceiling, keep it up there, and you're going to push out one leg, open the door, push forward, breathe, push the other leg. Now keep paying attention. Can you keep your back absolutely still as you move your legs? No arching. Push, a little resistance. Now, if you feel strong doing this, take the ring halfway back again. Keep the ribs down though, and you'll feel a little more work in your abdominals. Now, keep the legs moving and bring the ring back up. And our final variation, we're going to lift our head and chest up, look at your toes, and keep pushing away. Push open the door. Now, try and grow a little taller in your back and lift the circle an inch higher to the sky. Breathe. 4 more times. Keep trying to float that ring up in the air. Breathe. Last 2. Last 1. And then rest down, rest your head. Give your head a little rest. Okay, now this next exercise, if you're strong and been doing lots of Pilates, you can put the ring in your ankles. Okay, if you're quite new to Pilates or you find these are tough, just do this without the ring and just hug your legs together with no ring. Okay, so you choose how advanced you are and how much challenge you would like. Hands behind the head. We're going to breathe out, lift our chest up.
Bring the ring to sort of tabletop, give it a bit of a hug. Now notice where is your back, can you feel where your back is resting on the mat? You're going to straighten your legs without your back changing. And then bend back in. Go high to begin with. Remember, the ring is like a weight, so you need to go a bit higher than normal. And in. Try not to let your back change at all. Think of drawing those tummy muscles in deep. And exhale. Last one. Reach out. And back in. And then rest the head, take the circle out. Give your legs a little shake around again. We're going to come up to sitting. You can choose, rock up, roll up, use the ring in your foot, whichever way works for you. I'm just going to do a regular one. Bring yourself up to sitting. Okay, so now we're going to do 2 seated exercises with the ring. If you don't have a ring, you just do the normal spine stretch forward. Okay, if you do have a ring, we're going to press down on it to keep a bit more lift in our back. Okay, so I'm going to stand the circle up. I'll do it slightly sideways so you can kind of see. Okay, so my ring is in front of me and I'm going to put my hands palm, heel of hand, palm on palm. Okay, roll the shoulders back and sit up as tall as you can. Now the first version, we're just going to breathe out, push down and try and lift up in your lower back. Lift up in the waist and then release. Okay, so we're pressing down to lift the spine. Get more elongation in your spine. And what you should be feeling is all the muscles around your waist are going to switch on when you get that axial lift, that elongation in your trunk. Now we're going to change it to rounding the spine as we press down. I'll do this sideways so you can see. So as I breathe out, this time I'm going to tilt the pelvis, round my back and strongly press down the ring. And then sit back up again. So as I breathe out, I'm flexing my spine, rounding my spine and scooping in the tummy muscles deep. And sit up tall. One more time. Breathe out, press and round back. And then sit up nice and tall. Okay, good. Now we're going to do a twist. So you're going to hook the pad of the ring around one foot. Okay, I've got it on my left foot, but either one is fine, and hold it with the same hand. And then I'm going to twist and reach diagonally back with my other arm. And think of reaching back in your car to grab something from the back seat. And then unwind and reach for the foot. And then reach back diagonally, stretch back. And then diagonally reach over for your little toe. One more time, reach back. And come to center. Switch sides, hook the foot with the other ring. And again, so I'm going to reach for that, the saw exercise to the little toe and then diagonally back. And then to the little toe and then diagonally back. One more time, so it's a twist and then diagonally back. Good. And then I'm going to come around. Okay, put the ring down. Now we're going to line our fronts. If anybody has got shoulder issues or you don't have a ring and you're doing this class, you're just going to put your hands flat and do a normal swan Pilates exercise, which looks like this. So if you don't have a ring or your shoulders are too injured for this, you would have your hands flat, elbows back, and be coming up like that. Practice that exercise, okay? If you do have a ring and your shoulders are healthy, you're going to stand up the circle in front of you and hold the sides to begin with, so like a steering wheel, gripping with a fist grip on the side of the ring, straight arms. I'm looking down. Now, if you're doing the ring version, you're going to press strongly down with your circle and pull your blades, your shoulder blades, onto your back, so you feel your back muscles. Okay, and then as you push the ring into the floor, you're going to try and lift your upper back, look up, and look through the hole or look just above your circle. And then come down. This is trying to get our upper back to get a bit more mobile. So push the ring down, push it into the floor, lift the upper back, and then come down. We're going to have a rest, so everybody just take a break. Okay, rest your head down. Now, This is quite a strong shoulder movement. Even that position is quite a challenge for shoulders, mobility. So we're going to repeat it. Remember, you can do it without the ring here, hands flat. You can do the same again, steering wheel. Or if you have very flexible shoulders and healthy shoulders, the next progression is hands on the top of the ring, palm on the pad and the other palm. Now, if you're able to have totally straight arms without pushing down the circle, that's the test of whether this is the right choice for you, okay? Otherwise, do halfway down again. Lower the head, so I'm in a big stretch for my shoulders, and then I'm going to breathe out, press down, and then lift up and look forward. And then lower down. So it's a strong exercise for upper back and shoulders. Press down, look up. And down one more time. Press down, lift up. And then down. Good. Now we're going to sit back in a rest position. Use your hands. Sit back, just give your back a total rest. Take a few deep breaths, just very gentle, easy. Let's come onto our hands and knees and just do a really nice gentle cat stretch just to move around, no ring, no props. So just let your back gently move around the spine and then gently arch. And then again, gently round and gently arch. Now we're going to finish, have a flat back. We're going to do a little bit of upper body here. So if you're injured, just skip this bit out. If you're okay, you're going to take your knees back and cross your feet. We're going to do like a little fitness push up. Okay, so I'm going to keep my back nice and steady, body like a plank. And I'm going to just bend my elbows, narrow to my side, lower myself halfway down, and then push back up. Now these can be tiny if you find these challenging. If you feel pretty good, go a bit further, almost like nose touch the floor. And then back up. Okay, we're going to do 3 more, if that helps you pace yourself. Now for our last one, if you're happy doing this, we're going to try and lower ourselves elegantly down in our push-up and think of your nose and tummy touching the mat at the same time, okay? So just lower your body, keep it under control. Think of almost hovering your body an inch off the ground. And then gently lowering everything down onto the mat. Okay, so we're lying on our tummy again, and we're going to use the circle for our hamstring exercise. If you don't have a ring, or you find it's really tricky to get into this position, you could just do a stretch here instead. Okay, if you've got your ring, this is a bit fiddly to get into it if you're new to this. You're going to put the pad of the circle just under your bottom, in the kind of crease of your bum, which is technical term is your gluteal fold, that's the anatomy name. Bend the knee and you're trying to hook your ankle on the other pad. So one pad is in the crease of your bottom and the other pad is in your ankle. Okay, now this is going to really fire up your hamstring. Okay, if you can, you're trying to slightly lift your knee up. And then I'm going to pull my heel to my bum, squeeze the ring and release it. Okay. So I'm going to do 4 times, squeeze and release. Keep pressing your hips down and you should feel the hamstring, the back of your leg muscle working quite a lot. Good, now we're going to switch sides. So switch to the other hip, just crease the bottom, then the ankle, try and get the pad on your ankle. And then if you have bendy hips, you might be able to lift your knee up slightly, hips down though, and then 4 times, give it a squeeze and release. Breathe out, squeeze. And just try and really feel that hamstring muscle, get your brain to feel it in your body. When we do the single leg kicks, these are the muscle groups that you want to feel a little bit. Now we're going to take the ring out and just put it out to the side. And we're going to do the single leg kick. So no props, but trying to feel a little more sensation in our hamstring. Okay, so float your 2 legs off the ground. Remember how that hamstring felt. When you bend one knee, imagine you're squeezing the ring as you pull your heel to your bottom. And then do the other leg. Imagine you're squeezing your heel to bum. Try to feel your hamstrings. Do a few really slow ones, imagining you're squeezing the ring. And then see if you can do a little quicker with a double pulse without losing your hamstring sensation. Press the hips down and try and feel more sensation in the back of your leg. Last couple. And then rest. Okay, let's sit back in a rest position again. So use your hands, bring yourself up, just have a little another sit down. Good. And then we're going to come around to sitting down. And I'm going to give a few options. So if you find roll-ups are still a challenge, practice the half roll back again. Ring on the outside of the legs is a good one from the beginning. Or in between the legs if you felt that really good. Another option is to put the circle, flex your ankles and put the circle outside the ankle like that. So now I'm going to pull it out. Okay, and I'm going to try and do roll-ups like that. Okay, so this is just another option for roll-ups. Okay, you can of course return to the foot one if that's a good modification for you. So we can do 4 more roll-ups of your choice, and the ring should help you get more muscle activation, so make the movement more easy. Round your spine, pull the legs apart if you're in the position I am, and as I round down, I'm pulling my legs apart. I'm trying to rotate my pelvis underneath me, and I'm trying to slowly, with control, roll down. And then as you come up, keep it smooth, breathe out, round up. Okay, so you can pull out or push in. Different tricks might work for different people. And breathe out. We're going to do it one more time. If you're really happy with roll-ups, you could try the neck pull. So that's hands behind the head, tip back, roll back. This is a more advanced exercise. And then you don't use your hands as you come up. Okay, that's the neck pull for those of you that know it. Okay, go one more time of whichever one you prefer. Good. Okay, so come to sitting. Now we're going to do the side hip sequence, and I'm going to show you an alternative. If you either find the ring is very tricky to get into this position or you don't have a ring, this is what you're going to do. You're going to lie on your side and you're going to have your top knee on the mat for inside thigh. Then you're going to do hot potato with the rest of us, and then legs together for the double leg lift. Okay, so you can do this without a ring. Okay, if you have a ring and you're happy using it, you're going to stand it up on the end of your mat, put the leg that's going to become your underneath leg on the pad, the ankle, and then lie your body down on your side. Okay, now flex your feet and just look down at your feet if you're using a ring, and you want to see that they're both parallel, so your toes are pointing forward and your top hip is on the top of your bottom hip, because often we end up a bit twisted back. Okay, so try and really stack your pelvis. Okay, now I'm going to just lift up my bottom leg to meet my top leg and then relax back down. And again, squeeze up the inner thigh and down. So we're doing inner thigh lifts with or without a ring. Try not to push down with the top leg, rather feel like you're just lightly resting the top leg and you're really pulling up the bottom leg to meet it. One more time, hold it up. Now really hug your inner thighs, and we're going to stir that middle leg around and then hug it up. Stir it around and then lift it up. 2 more times. Hold it, really inner thigh squeeze together, and then rest the leg down. Now keep the ring held with the bottom leg, and everybody can lift the top leg up in the air. Now we're going to do the hot potato, which is circle the leg, touch the floor in front of you, circle the leg, touch the floor behind you. Try not to touch the ring, and if you don't have a ring, you're just pretending you're not touching it. So Keep going, tapping front and back. Now, if you have quite mobile hips, you can make it bigger. So you go all the way up in the air, higher. Make it a little bit snappier. So you're really moving your hip, getting all those muscles moving around your hip. Let's do it one more time. Front and back, and then finish front and back. Good. Now we're going to take the top leg through the circle hole. So both legs are in the middle. And we're going to strongly pull our two legs apart for a few seconds and then hold. Now you'll feel your side hip strongly. We really want to have nice strong hips. It's going to help us move better as we get older. So it's a good thing, try and bear with it. I know it's hard. Now this next one is hard. Pull your leg apart, and if you can, you're trying to lift your legs up in the air. So we're doing side lifts. Lift up and down. Breathe out, lift up. I know it's super hard. 2 more if you can. Last one. And down, and then take a rest. Okay, let's just give that ring a little kick over. Let's come on to our side forearm, and we're just going to do a little side plank here before we do side 2. So just check. Elbow under shoulder, underside body lifted. Now you can do this on your knees or with straight legs. I'm going to do my knees this morning. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to press my knees down and just try and hold myself here. Okay, if you feel really confident, you can straighten one leg, maybe even straighten both legs. Just hold yourself for a few more seconds. And then bring yourself down. Use your hands, we'll do a little mermaid stretch. So I'm going to hold my shin. Take my arm up, try and really lift your spine tall, try and get your arm glued to your ear, and you're going to side bend over, try and keep that arm together with your head. Take a little side stretch. And up. Okay, so side 2 of legs. If you're using a circle, you're going to take it to the other end, stand it up. The leg that's going to be the bottom leg is going through the hole, top leg's going to rest on top. If you're doing inner thighs, your top leg's going to come down like that. Okay, otherwise on top of the ring. Lie on your side. Now flex the feet, pointing forward feet, looking down. A bit of lift in your tummy. Remember, top hip is on bottom hip. And watch that often we end up swinging back in the ring exercises. So get yourself square, and then we're going to lift up our bottom leg up and down. Squeeze it up and down. There's a moment when you want to feel like your inner thighs are kind of magnets pulling together. Let's do 2 more. Very parallel. If you're not feeling your inner thighs, check the leg is parallel and not rotated out. Hold it here, and then we're going to circle, squeeze it up, circle, squeeze it up. 2 more times. Hold it up, and then rest the bottom leg down. And lift your top leg up, so hot potato, try not to touch the ring. Circle, tap the floor in front, circle, tap the floor behind, tap the floor in front, tap the floor in front. Now if you have good hip mobility, just make it bigger. Just moving your hips a bit higher, a bit more energy. Let's go 4 more times. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then forward. Now we're going to put our leg actually through the hole. Flexed feet, pull the circle apart. Now we're tired because this is our second side. You can already feel your hips probably. So if you can just keep the energy going for another couple of moments. Strong pull apart, lift your legs up. We're going to breathe out 4 times. Up and down. Exhale, pull the ring out and down. 2 more times. Last one. And down. Good. And then you can give the ring a little kick over and think goodbye for now. Okay. We're going to come up onto our elbow and do a little side plank here. So on your elbow, knee stacked, think side body lifted, and then you're going to press your knee down and lift your hip up and hold yourself here for a few breaths. If you feel really happy, you can take out one leg or even both legs and just do a little side plank balance for a few more seconds. And then come down, let your hip rest. We're going to bring ourselves up to sitting sideways.
Take your hand, hold onto your shin, other arm up in the air. Try and sit up really nice and tall. If you can get your arm next to your head, it's going to stretch the soft tissue a little more. So if you're able to get your arm up high, that's a good stretch. Side bend the body over and take a few breaths. And then come around. Now we're going to roll onto our back and do the figure 4 hip stretch. So just take a moment to do another roll down if you can. It's another opportunity to work on that strength. Take your time coming down onto your back. Once you're lying on your back, you're going to cross one leg over the other. So there's a few choices. Just here might be a good stretch for you, or you can reach up and grab the other one and hold that stretch there. Take a few breaths. And then we're going to uncross that leg, cross the other one. Hold that there for a few moments. And then uncross. Let's do a little gentle rock up. And then soles of feet together, knees apart. Another hip stretch here. Round your spine as if you're just reaching your head down towards your toes, and take a few deep breaths. Try to feel as if your back is getting a little stretch open. Nice and calm. Okay, now we're going to try the seal puppy because it's quite a nice sort of massage without any props. It's quite a nice exercise. If you're not familiar with this, you can just stay in the stretch if you prefer, that's fine. If you know seal puppy or you want to give it a try, just check your mat hasn't got any stuff on it, it's free. And you're in this position, it's a bit like rolling up a ball. We're going to have our hands cupped under our ankles, and you're going to be balancing, try and press your feet together, like your feet are making a little prayer. And then just balance here, and just scoop the tummy and try and curl your tail to your ankles, and at the same time really press your heels together. Now those cues should help you feel a stretch in your lower back. Let's just take a little rest. So especially if you find roll-ups hard, this is an exercise that should help you get a bit more open in your lower back, and you should feel that's the point of this exercise, okay? So try it again. Don't even roll yet, just balance, press the heels, scoop the belly, and try and curl the tail to your heels. And you should be feeling your tummy, but also a stretch in your lower back. Now, the rolling is optional. If you want to try the roll, it's a curl the tail more and try and roll back, and then rock back up and balance, okay? You can stay just balancing, you can roll, or the full version is you pause and you do 3 claps. So you draw your tummy, you balance, clap, 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 and you balance, clap, clap, clap. So it's a control abdominal movement. So you can just do whichever's right. And it takes practice. So don't worry if it's a work in progress still. Okay, good. We're going to do one more exercise with the ring supporting us in a push-up planky type exercise, where you sort of wedge it in your chest. So it's like having a third arm. If you're injured or you don't have a ring, you could go and do some wall push-ups. That's a really good choice instead of this one. So find a wall and do some push-ups with a wall. If you're happy to try this and you have a circle, you're going to wedge the circle into your chest, the handlebar. So it's like having a third arm. And then you're going to step your legs out into a plank. And you're not leaning on it yet, but you can feel it's a little bit of a support system. Now, if you try and do a push-up here, the ring is going to help push you up again, so it's going to help you. So if you usually find push-ups are very hard, the ring is your friend. It's going to help you a little bit. Let's do 2 more. One more time. And then we're going to come down. We're going to give our wrists a little shake out. Okay, good. We're going to do a couple of exercises standing legs to finish. But so just before we come up to standing, let's do our walking to our feet ending. So just put the ring out the way. One more time, step into a plank as long as you're not injured and you're okay on your wrists. Just hold it a couple more seconds. Bit of weight bearing on our arms.
Then you're going to lift your hips up high as if you're making a pyramid shape. Bring your feet in a little bit. And then we're going to bend one knee at a time. And stretch the ankles and the calf muscles. Shoulder blades wide on the back. And we're going to walk our hands and feet towards each other. Let your knees be a little bent, that's fine. Hold your elbows. And allow your head to relax. Give your head a little shake. Perhaps bend a bit more in the knee and then a little less. Just giving yourself a bit of a stretch. And then we're going to relax our arms and we're going to gently roll up to standing.
Okay, so I'm going to adjust my camera back to my standing spot. Okay. Good. So we're going to do a little balance with the ring. If you don't have a ring, you can just do this balancing on one leg without a circle. It's still a good exercise. You want to be on a flat bit of floor, and you're going to put the ring in your ankles. So I'm going to bend down and put the ring in my ankles. Okay, so the pads are just up from my ankle bone. Okay, and then if I stand up with the ring there, my feet are a little bit turned out, and I'm just going to bring my feet a tiny bit closer. Okay, spread out the toes. Okay, now I'm going to try and balance, reach my arms out. Now, if you just try and squeeze the ring by imagining your inner thighs have magnets on them. Okay, and then keeping the ring held, you're going to shift onto one foot and balance. Balloon on the head. Now, keeping your balance, you're going to try and calmly squeeze the ring, release the ring. Squeeze the ring, release the ring. So standing leg strength and balance. One more. Now I'm going to put my foot down. I'm going to transfer to the other leg, and I'm going to get my balance on one leg. Balloon on the head, nice and tall, gently squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Two more. Now I'm going to put that foot down. I'm going to go back to my first foot. Now this is a tricky transition. It takes a bit of practice. I'm going to try and move my leg behind me without dropping the ring. If you do drop it, just readjust it. Okay, now I'm going to pull my back leg in and out. 4 times. Pull in and out. Keeping your balance. Last one. Now I'm going to see if I can move the circle back, put my foot down, transfer to the other foot. This does take a little practice. Don't worry, don't give yourself a hard time if it's quite new still. Take the other leg behind you. Try and hold the ring. 4 times, squeeze in and out. In and out. Keep your balance, balloon on the head. Circle it back, put your foot down. If you need to adjust your circle, adjust it. We're going to try and rise up and down with our ring still squeezed. Feet, toes spread out. Standing up nice and tall. As you lift your heels up, keep a little hug on the ring. So it is helping to keep you stable as you rise up. It's going to make your hips be a bit stronger, connected. That's it. 2 more times. And last one. Good. And then I'm going to let my feet come out a bit so it's not quite as strong. And then rings have been known to fly across the room doing this. Don't feel bad if yours does. Grab it out, give your legs a shake. So we're going to finish with a press down with the ring. This mimics this chair. Some of you that have been to done the studio Pilates, we do this with a chair pushing the pedal down, and it's designed to open your back. So the lower vertebra of the spine are going to get a little stretch. Okay. It's a bit of a tricky one, sometimes learning these. I'm going to do it sideways on. So feet slightly apart. You're going to think normal roll down that you might do in a mat class. So you're going to nod your head, let your spine round over, and you're going to place the pad of the ring about a foot in front of your feet. And then I'm looking at my toes.
I'm trying to scoop up my tummy and tuck my pubic bone towards my nose. I'm tucking my pelvis, so it's opening my back. Now, as I breathe out, I'm going to push the circle down and pull my tummy muscles up, and then release. And again, breathe out, push the ring down, pull the tummy muscles in and up, and release. And when you push down and use your tummy, you should feel a greater stretch on your back. One more time. And now as we come up, keep the hips forward and roll up and stand up. Okay, good. We're going to do it one more time before we end. This takes practice. You know if you're doing it right, if you're feeling a really good stretch in the back and you're feeling your tummy muscles. Watch you don't let your hips swing back, and watch that you're really tucking your pelvis in that upside down position. So you're really getting the stretch in your back, okay? We do it one more time. And slightly bend your knees if you feel like you're locking back in your knees. That also helps. So arms out. So it's just like a mat work roll down. It's just that we're standing now. We're going to nod the head. We're going to round the upper back. Try and feel each part of your back. Pay attention. Where do you feel the stretch? Which sides of your spine? Which bits are stiff? As you round down, you're going to place the pad of the ring a foot in front of you. You're going to look at your knees. Now, try and curl your pelvis so you're trying to reach your pubic bone to your nose, and you're really open in your back then. As you breathe out, you're going to press down and lift the tummy in and up and release. Breathe out, press down and release. One more time. Breathe out, press down and release. And then as we roll up, hips forward, roll over the spine, roll up to standing, and have a little moment. Good. Okay, so the ring is quite a hard class, so well done. Give yourself a little pat on the back. And if you want to do this again, obviously it'll be recorded. I'm going to stop the recording now. Where is it?